Hi everybody, brothers and sisters. Today is the 24th of March 2019. Your brother Harael, Manitou Peruma Kinda, come back again try to explain to you as a translator for today's great master avatar's teaching about the mystery of egregores and their activations. The last time he preached about this same topic, but it was the first part A, and today it was the first part B. According to the book of Matthew in the Bible, somewhere it says, Jesus says, where 2 or 3 people comes together in his name is amongst them. So it means where 2 or 3 people comes together for something, for an object, some kind of power, comes up. So it's like what they call egregore. Egregore is like something. It's like a spirit. It's like a spirit comes by what you have like in your mind, comes by your mind, by the fruits of mind. So it's something like, I mean like when people comes together, or when a man or a woman, like a couple, when 2 persons comes together for an object or maybe for a need, there's a kind of power grown up or burning between them. So that's what they call kind of like egregore. It's like a spirit, kind of spirit growing or having life, a kind of power, having life in some kind of 5th dimension of mind, of mental. So what we can say is like by the mind, on top of the spirits, on top of the spirits of any man, there is a kind of code. There's a kind of code on a spirit, on somebody's spirit, on somebody's soul. On everybody's soul we have something like a code, or like what we call like a code. This kind of code is as a number. That number is like when 2 or 3 people comes together, anybody brings his own number. When numbers comes together, it's like they get multiply or addition. It brings another number comes up. So it's like making another new power comes up amongst them, and that power is gonna be like a spirit gonna be guiding or like leading that association or that couple or that union of people. So it's like when people, that's what we mean when people, that's what we call egregore. So it's like a kind of energy that comes, energy that raises up when people comes together. A fusion is like a fusioning energy, a kind of particular or special energy coming up when people comes together. And that energy, that spiritual energy, is gonna get life, is gonna be like, it's gonna get power, it's gonna be like a power that's gonna be guiding and leading people. But when people comes together, mostly with an object, things has to go ahead. But when you realize that you come together with people or with somebody in a couple, men and women, when you come together, but you realize that things doesn't go as you were thinking or the way you were expecting, it means that there is a kind of you are not like compatible. It's a kind of incompatibility. So you are not needs to come together. It's like your astrological signs are not compatible to each other. So you have to realize that you might need to come together, you might need to live together, you might need to be friends with somebody or some people, but your signs or your codes, your numbers are not compatible to be together. And in such kind of situations, it's happening like, so when those people comes together, things doesn't work well, it can change somebody's destiny. It can change one of those people's destiny. Or you had a destiny, but when these things start going wrong, that egregore starts working in a negative way, or like against you, starts working against you. It's not gonna be like working positively, like guiding you, protecting you, or leading you, but starts working in a negative way against you. So everything will be going wrong. You just realize that everything goes wrong, your business is going wrong, everything's just getting wrong. So it means that you two people are not compatible. You are not compatible to be together. So that's why the great master said, in life you can just be. You can have many friends, but you cannot. You can know many people. You can know many people. Of course, you can live with many people, but you cannot be close friends to anybody. You can know many people. You can have many knowledge or people that you know, but you might not have. You are not obliged to be close friends to them. You might have just few friends, by many people that you know live great, just like people you know. You can just live with them by greetings, saying hi, how are you, and that's all. But you cannot live with them, especially anytime and every time, being with them like a close friends, because you might not know what is in that person's mind. You can be with somebody thinking that you are close friends, or thinking that you have the same ideas or the same minds or the same thinking, but that person maybe doesn't like you, or maybe that person is jealous with you, or that person has some other negative mind or desire to you. So by being together, it can change, or maybe make some things going wrong to your destiny. So you don't need to be close to anybody. You just have to trust firstly yourself. You have to trust firstly yourself, and few people around you, just few people around you that you can try to trust, but no trusting like trusting 100%. Trusting, you have to be trusting firstly yourself, and keep yourself positive, and make your first egregore positive in your mind, and that's gonna be your power. That's gonna be leading you. That's positive power that you have in your mind. It's gonna be your egregore that's gonna be leading you. And when you come close to someone, or When you meet someone in your life, that one has to be in the same mind, positive like you, so things will be going ahead. So you're gonna have something like compatibility. So something it's also special to know is you can know many people, you can have many friends that you respect. Yes, respect, but not fortunately being impatient with them, or being in compassion with them, or being like close to them, or trusting them. You can live in respect, mutual respect, but not fortunately being trusting them. Why? Because why we say that? Because when there is incompatibility with someone, you can realize that it can change one of you. It can change someone's destiny. So you don't need to trust anybody and be close to anybody and be mingle with anybody. You can have. So something we have to know, that where people comes together in different places, like mixed roads, or like markets, or churches, anywhere, lodges, classrooms, schools, wherever, where many people comes together, or where roads crossing, and those places mostly makes raising up some egregore are raising at that place. So we have to realize that most of those places mostly raised up some egregore, some power comes by that place. So that egregore, we say, is a kind of like entity, is a kind of entity. Is a kind of that entity that's raising at that place. So when you come close to those kind of places, you have to always keep your mind or your thoughts positive, so you can attract positive power of that place. Because when you got negative ideas or negative thoughts or negative minds or vibration, you can be captivated or absorbed by the negative power of that place's egregore, that place's power. Because in each place where there's many people comes together, this, as we said, egregores, that power calls egregore, raising up or burning at that place. And those that egregore always operates in two poles, in two kind of ways, positive and negative. So wherever you are, where there's many people on a car full, where there's many people comes together, you just have to know that you have to keep positive vibration, to work with positive vibration and come at those places in positive vibration, so you can captivate or attract to you that positive power of that egregore of that place. So as it can be in a car or in a bus, in the train, in the metro, it's a place where many people comes together. So we just have to keep, or we just have to keep always positive vibration in our mind, so we can attract positive power of that place. So how is an egregore get feed? So we can feed, as we say, we feed egregore by the fruit of mind, by our mind, by our vibration. So most we vibrating positive, more we having positive vibration, we are feeding our egregore in positive way. So it means when you're in a church or in a classroom or in an association or in an NGO, whoever people comes together for an object, by that object, you all have to vibrate positive. You all have to keep a positive vibration so you can feed and give more power to your egregore. And that egregore is going to be protecting and giving more power and more leading all you members in this association. So all you members in this association, you were protected by this egregore, and that's why you need to be feeding that egregore always in positive minds, positive thoughts, and positive vibrations. So you can kill your egregore, or you can spoil your egregore and make that power, that spirit start behaving against you, start fighting you, that egregore becoming negative and becoming becoming worse to you by having a negative vibration. By those negative, by a negative vibration of one or two members in an association, it can turn that egregore power, spiritual power, against your association, and you'll be seeing your objects, the objects you have like a commitment in that association or in that group, starts turning wrong because some of the people are not behaving according to the object you had together at the beginning for that association that gives power to that egregore. So feeding an egregore, it's in that two-way. You can feed an egregore by positive vibration. You can also feed that egregore in negative vibration. And when you start feeding an egregore by negative vibration, you start destroying yourself. Because that egregore, that power that leading you, is gonna be like a leader, start destroying his members. So that's why when it comes together in a kind of association or in a kind of group, you have to keep positive vibration each other amongst against positive vibration among each other. So it's gonna feed that egregore in a positive way. So it's gonna bring great things and grateful to you members. By then we get talk about this egregore entity, as we says, is always be influenced by our sensation. Our sensation, positive as negative, as we say. So the importance, the importance of this egregore, or the meaning of this egregore. What's that meaning? What's the importance of this egregore? The importance of the egregore is to maximize protection, power, and to maximize protection and power of members. So more your egregore is powerful, more you members in the group or in the association, you'll be getting more powerful. You'll be more powerful. So it's like when people comes together and give positive vibration to an egregore, to like we say, a spiritual power that created by those people's commitment, by those people's commitment in their mind, in their thoughts, that power grows and getting more powerful. It's whenever one of whenever anybody comes to that group or comes to that association, that new member as well getting protection and the power of that group and association by the power they give to the feeds to that egregore, we calling that spiritual power raising by commitment of people come and mingle together. So the egregore also in aspect of protection, it comes sometimes to protect and defend someone who have someone who's in the it comes to protect someone who's in the last ultimate decision, or in the last position of I can say weakness. When you get more weak, when somebody gets more weak, the egregore can start working for that person to defend that person when it's up to a war or when it's up to a battle. When you feel so weak, the egregore's power of all the members of that association that feeding that spiritual power of the group that's called egregore, it can be working for you at that time. When it's up to a battle, when it's up to a process, when it's up to any kind of problem that you can have when you feel so weak and you don't know how to keep yourself strong, the egregore can work for you. So what you have to know is as well that every word comes from our mouths, brings energy. Every word come from our mind, come from our mouths, brings energy, brings some kind of energy, spiritual energy that can be materialized, can have life. As we know, from the beginning, the word, it was the words that creates the word. The word was created, this word was created by the word. The words were next to God, the word were God, and the word himself created everything, as we know. So we have to be careful when we pronouncing some words, when we releasing some words, when we speaking, in the way of speaking, in the way of talking. We have to be careful by what we talking, by what we are releasing from our mouths as words, because every word comes from our mouths gets life, and it's getting life, it's materializing, it's materialized, it's getting life and becoming a kind of power, spiritual power that can make something happen. So in that way, we have to know that that energy we taking out of our mouths has to always be positive. So everything that will be happening next should be positive, because we always say some positive things and using some positive words instead of saying whatever bullshit or any stupidity that can brings negative or problems, or that can destroy our life in the future. So whatever we talk, whatever we release in our mouth, whatever words, what kind of word we release in our mouth, has to be good, has to be positive. So for the next, it's gonna get life, it's gonna materialize something, it's gonna get life, and when it gets life, it gets materialized, it's gonna materialize some good things in our life as well. So we have to know as well that every thought we have, we emitting every idea we emitting, every idea we having, always also making something happening, is raising something up. So any idea, any thought you have in your mind, any kind of vibration you can have in your mind, so we have to think about it. We have to think, always think good. We need always to think positive. We always need to have good ideas, so things will start. So everything will be also being good in our life, because everything that happening to our life is just the fruit of our ideas. That's what we talked about egregore. The egregore is coming by the commitment of many people comes together by what they have as an object and what they have that commitment in their minds. So we always have to keep our mind positive and positive vibration, positive thinkings and positive thoughts, so everything will be fine and positive in our life, because every idea we having is making a life in the spiritual world. So we really need to keep that part. So why they say that? Because we have to know that our ideas as power. Ideas as power as the same we say our words have power as well. So it means the idea is like your faith. Your faith. The faith is like something that you have in you that's making things happen the way you really want it to be. So the faith is so powerful that even God or the devil can never touch you, or can never make something to you, or can never help you, or can never destroy you without your faith, without your need. So you better first start needing, accepting that thing for it to happen to you. So that's why we always say, sometimes Jesus was, or not only Jesus, but many great masters, well, when they want to kill somebody, or when they want to heal somebody who's sick, or they want to save somebody, they always ask him, do you really want to be saved? They have to ask you first if you really have faith. If you really have faith. If you have faith, then you can be saved. If you really accept that you can be saved, that at that time you can be saved. So if by yourself you doubting, by yourself you don't feel like I cannot, it cannot work, maybe, or you still doubting, whatever God can do for you, whatever the great master can pray for you, however he can pray for you, whatever he can do for you, nothing can work. Whatever you like to do, it's not gonna work, because you don't have that faith that you will be saved or you're gonna be healed. So the first main point is your faith. You need that faith. You need that commitment, and that's real need. That's, acceptation without any doubt, 100% of faith that everything will be alright, things will be alright. So that's we have to keep in our mind. Even the devil cannot destroy you, or cannot touch you, or cannot disturb you if you never open a door to him. It's the same God cannot save you without you to open a door for God. When you open your heart to God, God's gonna be able to save you. So you need that faith. That faith is That's main point for your salvation. It's the same faith is the door you can open for the devil by your doubts, for the devil to destroy you or to disturb you. So neither God, neither the devil cannot do something to your life without yourself opening that door of faith. That faith is very important, the most important point in our life. So we have to know that every image we have in our mind can be materialized in the future by thinking about something. You're thinking about something, you're thinking about somebody, you're trying to make an image, an imagination in your mind. You try to imagine something. Just by imagining something, better be sure that that thing is gonna happen. That thing is getting life. By having an image in your mind, every image we have in our mind getting life, fortunately, in the future, like or not. It's the same way. Even that's why even names can get life, can get power. That's how the egregore is. So when you're thinking about, many people come together thinking about someone is a great priest or a great master, as a Lord, he has to be like this way, with this kind of hair, with this kind of eyes. Everybody's thinking that person is that way, and that person is gonna be materialized. It's gonna get life. It's gonna get real in the fifth dimension, in the mental life, in the mental world. In the mental world, that person's gonna be living, and that person is gonna be living as a spiritual power that's gonna be leading those people are having that commitment and that faith, that spirit can guide them. Even a name, like when they're saying in the name of Jesus, in the name of Kimbangu, in the name of whatever we can say, in the name of Allah, whatever. When people come together and accept and believe that that name or that person by idea or whatever, and gets a kind of spiritual being, spiritual power being, and can becoming real and making something happen. So we have to know that even names can become an egregore. A name can get power by only this vibration we're giving to that name. The way we're giving that vibration, that name can become an egregore as well, and become a power. Can start deceiving people, and it can also start destroying people, just because most of the people put in their mind and that name is this, and that's way they have that commitment, they have that belief that that name is this way, and it's gonna do this, then that, and it's gonna be for real in that way. So that's what they call egregore. By thinking or by having in our mind, by keeping in our mind, by having faith that that thing is that way, it's still gonna be happening in that way you're thinking that it is. So it means that it's always important to always have positive minds, positive ideas, positive vibration at anytime, at any way, at anywhere we are, because we don't know what's happening in that place, what's the power of that egregore of that place. Wherever we are, it's very important to always keep positive vibration, so we can attract the positive vibration of the egregore, of the power of that place. So wherever we are, wherever we go, we just try to do our best to keep a positive vibration. It's very important at anywhere, so we can captivate positive power of that place, instead of having or emitting a bad idea or a negative vibration that can bring to you negative power or negative vibration, can destroy or disturb you at that place and bring some negativity to you. What we can say is that an egregore has a validity. When we talk about validity, it means that an egregore must have an expiry date. So you can make an egregore. When they make an egregore has to be, you need to make a time for that egregore. It needs an expiry date. An expiry date is like when we make a product, we have to know that this is the time that we have to consume or we have to use that product, and after some time that product has to be expired. So an egregore also expired. When an egregore comes to expiration, when it comes to expiration, you have to destroy that egregore. Because if you don't destroy that egregore is gonna be living like a lost spirit. A lost spirit, like I can say, when we talk about an errant spirit, a spirit that moving around, like it's gonna be like a vagabond spirit, and it's gonna be acting like a vampire spirit. A spirit as a vampire, vagabond spirit that gonna be destroying people, and it can be destroying even members of a group or of an association or someone who made the egregore. So it can be this paper, maybe, to be a little bit so clear. I can have this paper or maybe this cross or an amulet. I say this is my egregore. This amulet, I start like believing in it. That's gonna be like my protection or my power or something. That power, that's gonna be, that amulet or that thing is gonna be like my egregore. That's gonna be like believing in it and using it as my power, as my protection. But I need to know that that thing has an expiry date. When it comes to the expiry date, I have to destroy it or to reactivate it. When it is not reactivated, or when it comes to expiry date, it has to be destroyed. You didn't destroy it, you just leave it. In that way, that thing as an egregore, as a spiritual power, is gonna be working against you people. So it's very important to know that an egregore has an expiry date. So it cannot be turning against you one day and start destroying you and start disturbing your peace or your business and everything that you can have like activity in your life. So we have to know that there is a difference between the etheric world and the mental world. So the egregore is something like we say coming by the mental world, by the mental dimension, by the mental ideas. So when you're thinking about something, you think that thing is gonna be, you make an idea, you imaginate something, and it's gonna be the same way that you want it to be, the same way you're thinking it to be. It's in a mental way, and it gets life in the mental dimension, in the spiritual dimension. But at the same way, the great masters like Jesus Christ, like Buddha, like Muhammad, like all these great priests, they pass through this life, and that as those are now ascensionate, those ascension masters, whoever, those are becoming like Ishim. Those Ishim are living in the etheric world. In the etheric world, they are different than this egregore we're talking about, making a power by our minds. Those are the spirits are living next to, living in the higher dimension, in the higher spiritual world that can come, those coming to help people believing in them, and people that commitment and belief that they are the spirits, those can leading them or like protecting them as an egregore. So we have to make that different than those great master assassinated than an egregore made by a thought or by an idea in the mental world. So everything you can imagine in your mind, by your mind, it can get life. It's not the same as those spirits of great masters. Those are like protectors or helpers or saviors of human beings. So by today's teaching, the great master Avatar gave us the truth, that one. So we have to know that the things that we thinking in our, or we imaginating in our mind can get life and get real. So those things getting real and being reality in our life. That's what we call it egregore. In few words I can maybe say for today is that let peace, love and harmony be in your homes. Thank you.
Nakata.